Seth Rollins has built one of the most fascinating careers in professional wrestling, but there are layers to his story that even hardcore fans might not know. From his earliest days in Iowa to becoming one of the most decorated superstars in WWE history, the man born Colby Lopez has lived a life filled with unexpected turns, hidden talents, and secrets that rarely make it to the television screen. Before we dive into these incredible revelations, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss what's coming next. What most people don't realize is that Seth Rollins actually grew up in a single-parent household in Buffalo, Iowa, a town so small that most maps don't even bother marking it. His mother worked multiple jobs to support him and his younger brother, and Rollins has credited her as the primary inspiration for his relentless work ethic. While many assume he came from a wrestling family or had connections in the business, the truth is far more humble. He discovered professional wrestling completely by accident when he was just a kid flipping through television channels late at night. That moment of stumbling upon a wrestling match would change the entire trajectory of his life, though nobody could have predicted it at the time. Long before he became the architect of his own destiny in WWE, Rollins was actually a talented musician with genuine aspirations in the industry. He played guitar in a punk rock band during his teenage years and was seriously considering pursuing music as a career path. The band even recorded some demos and played local venues around Iowa, building a small but dedicated following. Rollins has mentioned in rare interviews that if wrestling hadn't worked out, he would have likely continued down the music route. His love for music never disappeared, and he still plays guitar regularly during his downtime, often posting videos on social media that showcase skills most wrestling fans never knew existed. The physical transformation Rollins underwent to become a WWE superstar is nothing short of remarkable. When he first started training at the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy, he weighed significantly less than he does now and had a completely different physique. He spent years studying not just wrestling technique but also bodybuilding, nutrition science, and performance psychology to craft himself into the complete athlete he is today. What surprises most people is that Rollins is actually quite injury-prone due to the high-risk style he performs, but he's become obsessed with recovery methods and preventative care. He uses cold plunges, hyperbaric chambers, specialized massage techniques, and works with a team of physical therapists to keep his body in peak condition despite the punishment he puts it through. Another aspect of Rollins that remains largely unknown is his business acumen outside the ring. He co-owns and operates the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy in his home state of Iowa, which has produced several notable wrestlers who have gone on to sign with major promotions. Unlike many wrestlers who simply lend their name to wrestling schools, Rollins is actively involved in the training process when his schedule allows. He personally designs curriculum, reviews student progress, and even jumps in the ring to work with trainees. This academy represents a significant financial investment and a genuine commitment to giving back to the wrestling community that gave him his start. His relationship with fellow WWE superstar Becky Lynch is well documented, but what most fans don't know is the complete story of how they actually got together. The two had been friends for years before romance ever entered the picture, and they actually started dating in secret long before making it public. Rollins was extremely private about the relationship in its early stages because he'd had previous relationships that became public too quickly and ended badly due to the pressure. He and Lynch took deliberate steps to keep things quiet, including avoiding being photographed together and never mentioning each other in interviews. When they finally did go public, they had already established a solid foundation that could withstand the scrutiny that comes with being one of wrestling's power couples. The birth of his daughter completely changed Rollins' perspective on his career and life in general. He's spoken about how becoming a father made him reconsider the risks he takes in the ring and how much time he spends on the road. What people don't realize is that Rollins actually renegotiated certain aspects of his WWE contract after becoming a father to ensure he could spend more time at home. He turned down several international tours and premium live event appearances that would have kept him away from his family for extended periods. This decision wasn't about money or status but about being present for the moments that matter most in his daughter's early years. Rollins has an absolutely fascinating relationship with social media that goes far beyond what most fans see on the surface. He's one of the few WWE superstars who genuinely understands how to use Twitter, Instagram, and other platforms to build storylines and engage fans in meaningful ways. What most people don't know is that Rollins often writes his own social media content and rarely relies on the WWE social media team for his posts. He sees social media as an extension of his character work and treats it with the same level of importance as his in-ring performances. His ability to blur the lines between his real personality and his character has made him one of the most compelling follows in all of professional wrestling. The infamous knee injury that sidelined Rollins in late 2015 was actually far more serious than WWE ever publicly acknowledged. While the company announced it as a torn ACL, MCL, and medial meniscus, the damage was extensive enough that multiple surgeons told him he might never wrestle again at the same level. Rollins refused to accept that prognosis and threw himself into rehabilitation with an intensity that shocked even his medical team. He documented every step of the recovery process privately, keeping detailed journals and video logs that he's never shared publicly. The mental toll of that injury period was immense, and Rollins has admitted in rare candid moments that he battled depression and anxiety while wondering if his career was over before he'd really hit his prime. His CrossFit obsession became something of a joke among wrestling fans at one point, but what people don't understand is that Rollins' commitment to CrossFit was actually a crucial part of his injury recovery. The functional fitness approach helped him rebuild strength in ways that traditional bodybuilding couldn't match. He became so dedicated to the methodology that he actually considered opening his own CrossFit gym at one point. While that plan never materialized, his training philosophy still incorporates many CrossFit principles, and he's influenced several other WWE wrestlers to adopt similar approaches to their fitness regimens. Rollins is secretly one of the biggest video game enthusiasts on the WWE roster, something he generally keeps quiet because it doesn't fit his tough guy image. He owns an impressive collection of gaming systems and has been known to stay up until sunrise playing everything from first-person shooters to role-playing games. During long overseas tours, he and other wrestlers often set up impromptu gaming tournaments in hotel rooms, with Rollins frequently emerging as the champion. His competitive nature extends far beyond the wrestling ring, and he takes his gaming seriously enough that he's actually considered streaming on platforms like Twitch but is held back due to concerns about maintaining his character. The Shield faction that launched Rollins to superstardom almost didn't happen with him in the group. WWE Creative had several different configurations in mind, and Rollins wasn't the first choice for the role he eventually filled. It was actually his performance in developmental that convinced key decision-makers that he had the versatility to be the workhorse of the group. What made the Shield so special was the genuine chemistry between Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose, but that chemistry wasn't manufactured or forced. The three men genuinely bonded during their time together and pushed each other to deliver better performances every single night. Even after the Shield broke up and the members went their separate ways, that bond remained strong behind the scenes. His heel turn and betrayal of the Shield ranks as one of the most shocking moments in modern WWE history, but what fans don't know is that Rollins was initially hesitant about the angle. He understood the business reasons for the turn but was concerned about the fan reaction and whether he could pull off being a top villain. WWE Creative gave him significant input into how the character would develop, and Rollins crafted a heel persona that was arrogant, cocky, and insufferable in all the best ways. The success of that run proved he could work as both a hero and a villain, establishing him as one of the most versatile performers on the entire roster. Rollins has dealt with vocal cord issues throughout his career, something most fans would never guess given how frequently he cuts promos. The constant yelling and screaming required for wrestling promos puts immense strain on vocal cords, and Rollins has had to work with speech therapists and vocal coaches to protect his voice. He follows a strict vocal warm-up routine before every show and uses specific techniques to project his voice without causing damage. This attention to detail extends to every aspect of his performance, showcasing the level of professionalism that separates good wrestlers from great ones. His fashion sense has evolved dramatically over the years, and Rollins has become something of a style icon within WWE. What people don't realize is that he actually collaborates with designers on many of his ring gear pieces and has a genuine interest in fashion that goes beyond just looking good on television. He studies fashion trends, attends shows when his schedule permits, and has even discussed the possibility of launching his own clothing line. His bold choices and willingness to take risks with his appearance have influenced a new generation of wrestlers who see ring gear as an opportunity for artistic expression rather than just functional attire. The pressure of being a top guy in WWE is something Rollins has struggled with more than he typically lets on. There have been periods where the weight of carrying storylines, doing constant media appearances, and being the face of the company has left him mentally and physically exhausted. He's learned to set boundaries and communicate his needs to WWE management, but it took years of burning himself out before he understood the importance of self-care. His willingness to be vulnerable about these struggles in select interviews has helped other wrestlers understand that it's okay to ask for help and take breaks when needed. Rollins has an encyclopedic knowledge of wrestling history that would impress even the most hardcore fans. He studies old matches obsessively, not just from WWE but from promotions all over the world. He can break down the psychology of classic bouts and explain why certain moves and sequences work while others fall flat. This dedication to understanding the craft has made him one of the best in-ring storytellers of his generation. Young wrestlers often seek him out for advice, and he's generous with his time and knowledge, understanding that sharing expertise only elevates the entire industry. His championship reigns have been numerous and impressive, but what many don't realize is that Rollins often lobbies creative to put other wrestlers over even when he's holding a title. He understands that his role is to make everyone look good and create future stars, not just pad his own legacy. There have been multiple instances where he convinced writers to change planned finishes because he felt another wrestler needed the win more than he did. This team-first mentality is rare in an industry where ego often dominates decision-making. The journey from a small-town kid with impossible dreams to one of the biggest names in professional wrestling hasn't been easy or straightforward for Seth Rollins. Every step required sacrifice, dedication, and a willingness to constantly evolve and improve. The man behind the character is complex, driven, and far more interesting than what we see on Monday Night Raw. These hidden aspects of his life and career reveal someone who takes his craft seriously while never losing sight of what matters most. If you enjoyed learning these incredible facts about Seth Rollins, don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more content like this, and let us know in